Welcome back to the After the Siren podcast. Joe's got the siren today. I can't hear right now. You got to hold up to the speaker. So
through my ear.
There you go. Yeah. All right, now you get a little happy with it. All right, what you been up to today, Joe? Keep it clean today with the language?
Yeah, I'll try. I was a lot of cooking today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah. How about you?
Watched the World Cup draw.
Also the what was the game on that was today?
Oh, the showdown. That was insane. Poor Adelaide versus Adelaide Crows.
I woke up and I was getting the AFL stuff, and so
yeah.
Of course I can't watch it, but I listened to the end of it. It was crazy.
It was insane. It was great. We'll have our reaction for that next week. Probably Tuesday.
We'll be fire.
All right.
Yeah.
Today we're talking MLB predictions less than a week away. Opening day. Next week we'll probably preview opening series in the first week of games. But today is all about predictions and reviewing each division and award season too.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. We got the NL East. It's pretty much a 3-horse race. The Marlins aren't going to be contending for the division, but they could cause some trouble for the teams in front of them. The Braves, Mets, and Phillies. I think it comes all down to defense and bullpen. If you look at last year, the Phillies, their defense is not good. They added 2 big bats and Castellanos and Schwarber. They're not good defensively. You got the Mets. You can roll out DeGrom and Scherzer each day, but it might be a thing like Warren Spahn and Johnny Sane, where Spahn saying pray for rain. At the end of the day, that bullpen has to hold up. And if you look at Atlanta, their 2 very strong assets that they have is their infield defense and their bullpen. Their bullpen's probably the best in baseball right now. If you just look at what they did last year throughout the postseason during the second half of the year. So what's your take on this division?
Like you said, I agree. Definitely a 3-team race between Phillies, Braves, Mets. I think it'll come down to pitching as well. Honestly, if I had to do a ranking, I would have Mets first as the best pitching staff, just because their starting rotation's elite.
But after DeGrom and Scherzer, what depth do they have? They don't have the most depth.
Carrasco, Tyjon Walker.
They're not consistent enough.
What are you talking about?
They're not consistent enough.
Tyjon Walker was an all-star last year, buddy.
2 years ago, he couldn't stay healthy. 3 years ago, he couldn't stay healthy.
Okay, so last season, Charlie Morton broke his leg. Mike Soroka hasn't pitched since
Charlie Morton broke his leg during the World Series. Soroka was out the whole year. He didn't even pitch. It's not like he pitched halfway through the year and got hurt.
So he's not consistent then, because he got injured. That's basically what you're trying to say.
That's literally not what I said.
That is what you said.
Typical Yankee fan.
And then I'm going Phillies as the second best rotation. And then I'm going Braves as the worst rotation in that division.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, my X factor here is Marcell Ozuna. Because are you going to get 2019, 2020 Marcell Ozuna coming off of his injury and suspension last year, and he wasn't doing so hot before that.
Is he clear to play?
Yeah, he's clear to play. He was cleared after the playoffs last year.
Okay.
But he's coming back in. Hasn't played in a MLB game since I think May last year. So we'll see how he does, but I don't think he's going to have too much of a factor in who's winning the division, but he could factor in on how much this team wins the division. And I got the Braves going with a fifth straight NL East title. It's their division to lose.
Okay, my X factor, 3 things: errors, Ranger Suarez, and Kyle Gibson. Okay. And this is going to come down because I have the Phillies win the division. The Phillies, as we already said earlier, I think they had the worst fielding percentage in the MLB last year. But I think that's an easy fix. Nothing fungus can't square out, you know? Now, do you know who Ranger Suarez is?
Yes.
I didn't know him last year at all. But of course, you're a Braves fan, so you know this division better than I do. This kid was absolutely insane. Okay. He pitched 106 innings, a 1.36 ERA, a 1 flat whip, and a 5.8 WAR. That is elite numbers. I went to his baseball savant page. Practically everything's in the red. Let me just tell you some. Opponent's barrel percentage, he's in the 98th percentile. Expected slugging percent, 97th percentile. Hard hit percent, 93rd percentile. I mean, if they have Zach Wheeler, who finished second in the Cy Young last year, they have Aaron Nola, who's an all-star. If this guy, Ranger Suarez, can put up numbers as he did last year, I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be an all-star, maybe in the Cy Young race. And then Kyle Gibson, before the trade, he was also an all-star pitcher, 2.87 ERA, 1.17 whip. If they can find that side of him, because once he went to the Phillies, doesn't look too good, a 5.09 ERA. But the whip's still low, only 1.29, which gives me hope that, maybe that ERA is a little bit of a fluke. And then, like I said, the Phillies, I think they have the second best hitting lineup in the NL. And their lineup is deadly. They have power basically all the way through it. And it's definitely the best hitting lineup in the NL East, which is why I think. What's that?
I don't know about that. You had
Who's better?
year, you had Atlanta. You have a shortstops who hit almost 30 home runs. Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies. You're going to get Acuna back. Matt Olson.
Let me ask you this.
Travis
Acuna,
Darnell.
okay, he's returned from an injury. How long does it take for him to knock off that rust that he has? He's not going to jump in.
He's going to be fine. He's one of those players that as soon as he steps in the box, it doesn't matter if he's been out for a couple of weeks or not. Because he did this his rookie year when he was out for 3-4 weeks with a hamstring problem. He came back and went on this absolute tear for the next month.
I don't know, man. Plus, y'all were like 13th in WRC plus. So, I mean, you're just average.
We were 500
runs
up
created.
until August. 500 up until August.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think the Phillies have a chance to make some noise this season. I went more into depth yesterday on their lineup, and I really liked what I saw, especially with the addition of Castellanos and Schwarber. It won't surprise me if they're top 5 in home runs and RBIs this year.
All right, moving to the NL Central. It's pretty much a 2-horse race between the Brewers and Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think the Cubs might surprise some people. I'm not saying they'll win the division, but I think what they were doing right now, they're on the cusp up. I think not this year, but next year they'll be contending for the division. But,
I agree. I think because last year they had that fire sale.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's just like, oh, they're breaking down. They're not even trying to compete, but they still have some pieces there where
they got good young core.
I don't think it's going to be like a complete rebuild where you're seeing a decade with them not making it to the playoffs. I think they're just a couple years out, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. But my thing is, last year the Brewers really struggled just trying to put some runs on the board. Their timely hitting was not there. A big part of that was Yelich and his back issue. That he's my X factor in this division. If Yelich can get back to what he was in 2018, 2019, get rid of his back issues or keep it under control and just start hitting the ball, I think the Brewers will be looking good at the end of the day. What's your take on this?
I agree. My X factor for the division is all about pitching, kind of again as the last division. But you have the Brewers with 2 Cy Young pitchers, Burns and Woodruff.
Oh, you got 3 people there.
All-star in Peralta, like I said, he might be for the Cy Young. And then as for the Cardinals, this is where it's like the X factor is really taking place. You have Jake Flaherty, who's supposed to be their ace, and we don't know how much time he's going to be missing this season. It could end up being a big chunk with them without their ace. They lost Kim to Korea, Martinez to the Giants. So, you're really going to be relying on these young pieces like Matthew Liberatore, guys like him to, kind of make that jump up immediately. So, I mean, that's why I have my X factor. And leading up, my division pick for this is the Brewers. I have them winning it.
I was going back and forth, and my worry is the Brewers not going to be scoring enough because if these pitchers, this pitching staff, is elite. Probably the best pitching staff, depth-wise, rotation-wise, in all of baseball.
Concur.
But if you're giving up 1 to 2 runs, I'm afraid they're only going to be scoring 1 to 2 runs each game. So
If they
I'm
are,
picking
then
the
that is absolutely
Cardinals.
horrible.
I'm picking the Cardinals to win the division.
That's fair. I think it'll definitely be close. It'll definitely be one of those divisions where it's coming down to the last couple of games. Like I won't be surprised if it's between 3 games deciding who wins or loses this division.
Yeah, I agree. All right, the NL West. The Giants last year, probably
Big surprise.
And yeah, I mean, they were projected 77 wins, went on to win 107. I think they just struck lightning in a bottle last year. I mean, considering how old all their players are, like all their old players who should be on the decline all had career years. If you look at Gabe Kapler, whatever his name is, Dave or Gabe, my bad if you're watching, probably not, but I mean, in Philadelphia, he was horrible. He made a pitching move the one game, and there was nobody in the bullpen warming up. So he's not. I don't necessarily like him, but I think they just struck lightning in the bottle last year and just got hot. But my X factor in this division, it's going to be one player. Kind of had a decline year last year for the Giants. He's one of their younger pieces to build around in the future. Mike Yastrzemski. If he can go back to what he was in 2020, 2019, towards the end of 2019, I think the Giants will start pushing for a playoff spot, but I don't know what's going to happen around them. Is everybody going to continue what they're doing, or they're going to start regressing again?
I agree. I think their pitching staff last year, from guys that were kind of nobodies to guys that everyone know now, I think they did a good job replacing them. But I agree. My X factor in this division is age, and if it will catch up to the Giants, because you have Kirk Casale, who, I mean, Joey Bart might start over him, who's only 25, but Kirk Casale, 33, Brandon Belt, 33, Brandon Crawford, 35, Longoria, 36. I mean, you've guys that are again up there. I mean, they're going to be retiring this year, maybe after the season. I mean, and eventually follow time always wins. And that's the name of the game. And so it's a little bit scary looking at this. But even if you go through other divisions, I mean, of course, you have Freddie Freeman, who's 32. Each team in this division, they have guys who are older who are going to have to produce, and we'll have to see if age catches up to them or not.
Yeah. Who you got winning the division?
I think we can say it on 3.
1, 2, 3. Diamondbacks.
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers by a mile. Strongest
Yeah.
rotation lineup, that farm system in that division. I mean, they're just elite.
Yeah. All right, who you got for the wild card in there now?
I got maybe scroll down.
I didn't even write down my teams for the wild card.
What was that? Oh, you didn't
I
write
didn't
down. I have the Padres and Mets.
You have to pick 4.
4.
4 or 3. They expand the playoffs.
How many is it?
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 because they expanded the playoffs from.
All right, if I have to pick a third, Padres, Mets, and the Cardinals.
I'm saying Brewers, the Phillies, and I have to think.
Come on, buddy.
The New York Mets.
You already said the Mets. Oh, wait, no, you said the Phillies.
Yeah.
You said the Phillies, Brewers, and Mets?
Yep.
No, you're just dissing off the Padres? I know they're out without Tatis for a while, but
I don't know. Their rotation, everybody keeps getting hurt. Last year, that's what happened. This year, I think they need one more year to gel as a team because San Diego's done this before, where they throw together a team in one offseason, which was last year. The year they go into great expectations and then they fall off, and the next year they don't live up to it again. So I like the Padres. I think the Padres are going to finish above the Giants, but
Yeah, me too. I mean, it hurts me to say that we let the Yankees let go of Voit, but dude was the home run leader of 2020. He's going to be probably full-time DH on the Padres.
yeah,
Or might even play some first base. I know they're not like in Hosmer over there.
yeah.
And he's definitely going to bring that pop that Tatis won't bring with his injury. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I think they'll have fine filling people in.
All right, let's move over to the AL East. Yeah, Toronto, Tampa, Boston, New York. Who's the strongest and who's the weakest?
I didn't hear you say the Orioles.
I mean, that's a different conversation.
Listen, this is the best division in baseball. This is the toughest division in baseball. My X factor, two things. Injuries, specifically for the Yankees, because they cannot seem to go one season without multiple starters going out and missing time on the DL. And then if the player vaccination ban gets lifted in Toronto, because right now about maybe even half the Yankees team won't be able to play the Blue Jays when they go to Toronto, which is a little bit worrisome. So hopefully that gets banned or gets lifted, that ban, like they did in New York. But yeah, those are my X factors.
All right, so when I look at this division, Boston last year, their defense was not good, but they had Trevor Story to help shore up that infield defense.
But wait, let me ask you this
Yeah.
about the Red Sox.
All right,
How do you feel about their star rotation?
it's hit or miss. Either
It
everybody
is on shambles, their starting rotation.
it's either they're clicking or they're not.
I have
Evaldi, you don't know what you're going to get. Sale's coming back probably in a month or two, so you don't know what Chris Sale is going to get. But their whole name of the game is what I'm getting to is who can score more. That's the name of this division, basically, because everyone's starting rotation isn't necessarily the best.
The Blue Jays
unless
have a
you're
good
Tampa.
starting rotation.
Unless you're Tampa. Tampa has the best pitching staff by far.
I'd say Blue Jays are right up there.
I don't know.
I think Yankees have the best bullpen in the division. I'm
that.
sorry. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
You need to relax a bit. All right.
My bad. I get excited sometimes.
I mean, Tampa, I think, has probably the most complete team. They might not have the power or the stars, but that lineup, the way it's welded together, it just works. And their bullpen, they roll out each guy, it just works too. But I think the X factor of this division is Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman was amazing last year. Like first 12 starts, he was lights out. Then after that, he started going back to his normal self, but he was still pretty solid. If you look at what he did before last year, he was average to below average. And now he's going back to the AL East, which he was with Baltimore, where he wasn't that great. I'm worried he might not be the guy they wanted to replace Robbie Ray. But
well, the thing I have to say there is the Blue Jays have such good, I think they have a really good starting rotation that when they brought him over, I don't think they were expecting him to produce the way that he did with San Fran last year. But if they just get a little bit of that, I think they'll be fine with Alex Monan. Fuck, excuse my language again. How do you say his last name? It's M something.
I don't know. I didn't look at anybody's rosters before doing this.
Jose Barrios and then
Barrios.
Whatever, same thing. I'm definitely missing someone else, but I think they're not relying on him to be the ace, which I think is good for them.
Yeah. All right, so my division pick, I think it's going to be Toronto. You got Matt Chapman, Vladdy Jr. Vladdy Jr. I picked last year to win MVP, and he finished second, so to Shohei. So I had them 1-2 last year. They got Biggio, they got Bichette. I think they got pretty formidable lineup, and I think they're kind of mad from last year because they won 90 games and didn't make playoffs. So
if you had to go down, who's first, second, third, fourth, what order would you do it in? Because I'm kind of interested for this.
Toronto, Tampa, Boston, New York.
You're killing me here, Albert. You're killing me here. Are you serious? Or are you
maybe
joking
Baltimore
right
above New York?
That's crazy. No, I'm sticking with the Yankees for the division.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, in my eyes, they're the team still to beat.
All right, let's move to the AL Central. Twins. I mean, they were the best team in 2019, 2020 this division, and last year let them down. If Buxton can stay happy, if not happy, healthy, and Correa comes in and does what he does like he did in Houston, I think they could have a big say in the division. Detroit's going to be a problem. They're not ready to compete for the division just yet, but they're going to cause havoc between Chicago and Minnesota. But I think it's Chicago's division to lose.
I agree.
Considering what they did last year and all the moves they have made, they're just a strong team, and I think they could be a pretty strong force when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely going to be White Sox, and then you have a little bit of a gap, and then Twins and Indians, a little bit of a gap, Tigers, more of a gap, Royals. But yeah, White Sox, I mean, they're definitely probably one of the best teams in the AL at this moment. And Twins, I think if they could get one more pitcher, because they already got Sonny Gray, and listen, Athletics are having a fire sale call about Manaea. Yeah, I mean, listen, he could fit there well. And if the Twins could get this, again, another pitcher, maybe they fight for a wild card spot. But my X factor in that division is going to be for the White Sox, Eloy Jimenez.
Good pick.
He's been injured quite a bit. He came back last year, and the pop is just there in the bat. And I think that's what the White Sox are missing a little bit of that pop. They have Jose Bray, who's a little bit older. He's still reliable, could fight for an MVP. They have Grandal. Is it Grandal in third?
Yeah.
That's my Grandal. I mean, he's more of a contact type of guy. Tim Anderson, contact type of guy. They're missing that pop. And I think if he's healthy, he can bring 30-plus home runs this year. I think he could be a huge factor in that division.
Yeah. They also have Luis Robert, too.
Luis Robert, yeah, I'll talk to him later.
Ooh. All right, so my X factor is Carlos Correa. Minnesota last year, just under 500. Correa comes up, shores up the defense up the middle. You have Buxton, who's going to win a Gold Glove. You have Correa, who's probably going to win another Gold Glove. I think up the middle, they've increased their defense. And last year, that was their problem. Their offense worked pretty good. Pitching staff was solid. Now Correa coming in, another big bat in that lineup with Miguel Sano. I think
Blanco.
Blanco. I think they're going to win the division.
You think the Twins are winning the division?
Yes.
Oh, Albert, bro, you on something today, man. You on something.
Nah.
White Sox will win probably at least 10 games. I don't think it'll be all that close. All right. Whatever. Let's go to the West. I'm done with this conversation now.
Joe woke up on the wrong side of the bed. All right. So AL West, has Texas and Seattle done enough to chase down Houston? Houston has a very good starting rotation. Justin Verlander coming back. Lance McCullers going to be back in a month or two. That's what they're projecting. Houston has a very good lineup. Guy, I forgot his name, but they have a young shortstop coming in to replace Correa. He's looking pretty good this spring.
Yeah.
And Texas signed Simeon and Seager. Seattle got Suarez and Winker, and signed Robbie Ray as well. But I think Seattle's done more than Texas, but I think Seattle's done enough to close the gap on Houston. I just don't know whether this is their time to win the division yet or not.
Mm-hmm. I think Astros, they're the team everyone's shooting for right now. And I think the Rangers, they took a step forward this offseason. They're still not there. I think it's between the Angels and the Mariners, those two teams, to try and beat out the Astros for the division talks. You're going to have Rondon back. Hopefully Mike Trout can play. And then this will lead me into my X factor, which is going to be new pitchers. I mean, Verlander back for the Astros, see what he can do. I mean, he's getting up there in age too. What is he,
Yeah.
like 35? 39, are you
36.
serious?
I don't know. I forgot. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely up there. You know, you're going to have Syndergaard going to LA, who they're bringing in there to probably be their number 2, 3 guy. So we'll see what he can do. And then, like you said, Robbie Ray, Seattle AL Cy Young winner last year. Can you repeat that performance? I think depending on how these guys perform, that's how the division is going to lay out.
I mean, Robbie Ray's going from the AL East, which has a bunch of hitter-friendly parks, to the AL West, who has a bunch of pitcher-friendly parks. So
True.
I think it might boost his numbers a little bit. But my X factors, it's going to be the pair that went from Cincinnati to Seattle, Suarez and Winker. They're going to a bigger park. They're not in Cincinnati, which Cincinnati is a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I think their hitting is going to elevate this Mariners lineup because they were missing that last year. They didn't have any run-producing hitters. They had a solid lineup, but they didn't have those guys.
I would say
Mitch
Haniger. I'd say Mitch Haniger is,
but other than that, Kyle Seager,
yeah,
that was his last year.
he's old, yeah.
So I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, those two are going to help decide the fate of Seattle's season because their pitching staff was good, their defense was good.
Mhm.
But my division pick is the Astros. They're just going to win it again.
Just because I can't stand for the Astros to win a division, I'm picking the Mariners to win. Kind of a fun, youthful team. You know,
Yeah.
Abraham Torre came from the Astros. He kind of brought some life into that team. Pitching staff, I think they have the best pitching staff in the West. Lineup wise, it does scare me a little bit. We'll see what Kelenic can do. See, he'll probably be up there the full year. They'll probably end up bringing Julio Rodriguez in maybe mid-year, maybe June sometime. And, you know, maybe he'll fight for Rookie of the Year. But I think the Mariners have a chance to pull it off, especially since longest drought not being in the playoffs. They got that fans pressure to finally win it. I think they might put it together this year.
Yeah. Who's your wild card teams?
I have Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
I have the Astros.
Okay.
And I have I didn't get this far. I'll pick the no, F it. We're gonna go with the Angels. I want to see Trout in there. I think they have a shot.
I think it's going to be Seattle,
Mhm.
Tampa, Chicago.
Okay. That's fair.
Moving on to award season, NL MVP. I got Nolan Arenado.
What?
His
Where's that
his
coming
second year last year was offensively was not good. He started turning around
Mhm.
second half. This is his second year in St. Louis after a very down year. I think he's going to make the adjustments. He's going to work. He's got Paul Goldschmidt there. You got Paul DeYoung. You got all those guys around. Yair Molina. They just signed Pujols too. He has multiple people. He can pick Pujols's brain to help him with plate discipline because that's what he lacks a lot. And I think he's going to have a bounce back year. It's going to be a Gold Glove winner again, probably. And if Cardinals are going to win this division, he's going to be a big factor in why they win the division.
I agree. He'll have a factor. My NL MVP is probably not going to be any shock. A future Yankee, actually, Juan Soto.
You say everybody's a future Yankee.
No, I don't. I don't think Nolan Arenado is a future Yankee. But listen, Soto, he's the best. He's the best hitter in the MLB at the time. And it's not like he's no weakling on the defensive side either. He's no noodle arm. So I mean, I don't think he'll end up winning a Gold Glove in the outfield. But he'll probably lead the league or the NL in average, best hitter, most RBIs. He's just an animal.
No. All right, AL MVP. AL MVP and Cy Young were hard for me to pick, but AL MVP, I'm going to say Correa because if Minnesota is going to win the division or even get back in the playoffs, he's going to be the main reason why. There's no way around it. It's either Minnesota's going to miss the playoffs and he's not going to play well, or he's going to play exceptionally well and they're going to make the playoffs. There's no in between there.
What would be your definition of a good and a bad season for him?
They make a playoffs. He bats like 290, hits 30 bombs, drives in 90 to 100.
Okay. My AL MVP, I already hinted at it a little bit. I have Luis Robert.
Yeah.
The numbers weren't exactly there in 2020, but that was kind of a messed up year,
Yeah.
Last season, only limited time, 68 games, 338, 378 on base percentage. In the spring, he's raking right now, but it is a spring, but 318, 360 on base, 3 home runs. Defensively, he can win a Gold Glove out there. He's speedy, he's quick, he's got an arm. I think the AL MVP race will be tighter than the NL MVP. But I have Luis Robert winning it.
Yeah. All right, NL Cy Young. All right, we're going to give you some numbers here. This pitcher in the last 3 years went 38-11. Last year, after his first 3 starts, he had a hamstring problem. Came back at 2.44 ERA the rest of the way, and then had the MLB best 1.74 ERA in the second half. Max Fried is going to win the NL Cy Young. He's going to put together a complete season. Whenever he pitches, it's win day for Atlanta. You saw in the playoffs, he got first game, there was nerves. Second game, as soon as he got stepped on the angle, he was like, all right, that's it. I'm back, and completely dominated Game 6 of the World Series. He dominated the Brewers in the NLDS. The NLCS, he struggled a bit, but he was playing against his hometown team. So he probably grew up remembering watching all those great Dodger pitchers in the playoffs. He was a big Sandy Koufax fan too. So I got him. It's my NL Cy Young.
Okay. For my NL Cy Young, this guy was so close last year. He finished second. I think the team around him is better, which means more wins for him. Defensively, I think there'll be better numbers for him. I think Zach Wheeler of the Phillies will win the NL Cy Young.
All right, AL Cy Young. I've been going back and forth. I might change my answer again because I picked like 5 guys to win this. But you know what? I'm going to go for it. Shohei Ohtani will win the Cy Young.
Let's hear it.
There's nothing else to hear. Man throws 100. If he can put together a full season, stay healthy with his arm and shoulder, I think they'll be fine, and he'll win the Cy Young.
I think there's only 2 guys in competition for it this year.
I wrote Lucas Giolito here, so.
Oh. No Shane Bieber on there?
I had him on there too.
I think this is between Shane Bieber and Garrett Cole. Shane Bieber, he was injured last year. When he's not injured, he's obviously one of the best in the game. Garrett Cole, when he wasn't injured, which hamstring injury at the end of the year, which, ended up getting raked on by Boston in the playoffs. He's obviously worth the money. He's obviously one of the best pitchers in the game. He finished second last year, Garrett Cole, and that's why I have Cole winning it. If he's fully healed, I think he's the most dominant pitcher in the game, right behind DeGrom. So I have him winning it.
NL Rookie of the Year, I got Saya Suzuki.
Saya!
From Chicago. I think he's going to come over here. I think he's going to do good. I don't know too much about him. I didn't really do research at all today. I had a bunch of stuff going on today, but Saya Suzuki I've liked from highlights, what I've seen. I think what I've heard about him, I think he's going to do well. He might be a little bit better than Ohtani just based off his stats. I saw a quick blurb about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how he adapts, but I think he'll win it.
I wish I picked something different, but I also picked Saya Suzuki. He's at plus 400 right now. He's 27, so he's a little bit more age, a little more maturity than I think some of the other guys like O'Neal Cruz. I have some stats from when he was in Japan last year for you,
Okay.
Albert. He hit 317.
Yep.
If you had to throw out a guess for what his on base was, what do you think?
417.
433.
All right, I was close.
He walked 88 times. Guess
That's
how many
good.
times he struck out?
16.
89.
Oh.
He is struggling this spring, though. I don't know if you've seen that. He's hitting sub 200 right now. But he's coming over from Japan. Is it Japan or Korea?
In Japan.
He's coming from Japan, so there's a new atmosphere. Of course, when you're on the Cubs, too. I mean, they're not playing for much, so a lot of eyes are going to be on him. There's quite a bit of pressure on him to be like the next Suzuki, like that type of big guy.
Yeah.
But I think he just needs more at bats, and we'll start seeing the production.
All right, my AL Rookie of the Year, Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
From the amount of stuff that's been said, like George Brett came out and said they asked him what he's doing. He said he's a really good ball player. If his work rate, his work ethic, he said they were at one time in spring they were questioning the way he was taking the ball out of his glove. He said George Brett said the next day he saw him just pulling the ball out of his glove, just working on that. His work ethic's there, the talent's there. He absolutely kills the ball in spring training last year, coming off 2020, which there was no minor league season. So his first minor league season last year, he absolutely dominated, batting average over 300. He's going to be a really good player for the Royals.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a guy to watch out for. An up and coming superstar for the MLB pipeline. I know he's ranked number 1. For my AL Rookie of the Year, I wouldn't say he's a shot in the dark. He's a plus 1,200. So, if you're on DraftKings,
Adley Roshan.
book this. No. Also, DraftKings, if you want to sponsor us, I got to show love to some hometown guys. I got Riley Green of the Tigers. Last year in AAA, in his first year, 308 batting average, 400 on base percentage. So far in the spring, he is raking Albert. 412 batting average, 500 OBP. He has 2 home runs, I think, in 9 games. The only question mark coming in was defensively. How strong is he going to be? He's easily put that to rest in the spring. He's diving all over the place. He has the speed. He flies to the ball. So I have Riley Green at plus 1,200 winning it.
Yeah. All right. We'll do our top 5 teams, then our World Series matchup, and then that'll be it. All right. Top 5 teams. I got Braves, Dodgers, Houston, Toronto, and Tampa.
I have Dodgers, Blue Jays, White Sox, Yankees, Mets.
All right, and then my World Series matchup, I got Atlanta because NL's going to run between Atlanta and LA again. And I think you got Acuna, who didn't play last year. He wants his own ring. You got Ozuna, he's going to want his own ring. You got Matt Olson, he doesn't have a ring. Mike Soroka, he wants his own ring. I think the Braves are a young, hungry team. They said they don't care about last year. They're focused on now. You got Kenley Jansen, who lost last year. He grew up being a Braves fan in Curacao. He wants a ring with the Braves. I think that in Tampa, their pitching staff, like in 2020, if they put it all together in the playoffs, and I think they can make a run at it too.
Wait, so you had Tampa and the Braves? That's what you said?
Yep.
I have Yankees and Dodgers.
Yeah, basic.
Listen, Dodgers is the best team in the NL. Yankees, arguably one of the best in the AL. I mean, it only makes sense. You're saying the guys on the Braves are hungry for a ring. There's no one on the Yankees that's won a ring. Oh, there's Chapman who won it with the Cubs. And Garrett Cole.
And Rizzo.
But and Rizzo. So there's only a couple guys. Most of the team has not won a ring yet. And Brian Cashman, he came out yesterday saying, these guys are hungry. They should have been in the World Series back in 2019 if there wasn't some cheating going on against us.
Still live in the past.
I'm just saying, and there's an energy on the Yankees. There's a little more, excuse my language, there's a little more fuck you energy on the Yankees team, especially with the
you could have just said the letter. You
Donaldson.
didn't have to say the word.
Nope, I'm saying it.
Oh, great.
This is my character, Albert. This is my personality.
Douchebag.
Whoa. That's a little mean. So I have Yankees Dodgers.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for today. We'll be back Tuesday. AFL. The showdown between Adelaide and Port Adelaide. Crazy game. You got a basic white boy over there.
Basic.
And all right. See y'all.
Bye.